Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the most electrifying, the most stupendous, the most phenomenal wrestling brand on YouTube. That's right, it's SPINEBREAKER Pro Wrestling. It's not Dicebreaker, it's SPINEBREAKER Pro Wrestling.
SPINEBREAKER.
It's also a radio show, it's a shock jock radio show. Yes. Today we are playing a wrestling RPG. It is it's Worldwide Wrestling, which is a game that came out in 2015. There's the first edition already out, but there's actually a second edition coming up, which they put the playtest materials out for, although they're not in the most easy of kind of formats, so we're kind of hodgepodging it together. But I am joined by four of the greatest superstars to ever grace this brand. It is, of course, Mr. Michael Whelan.
How's it going? Video producer here at dicebreaker.com/YouTube #Instagram. How's it going?
It's Johnny Chiatini.
Hi.
It's Alex Meehan.
Hello there.
And it's Alex Lowleys.
Hello, it's me.
I write for the website.
Alex, you really could have dressed up for this one. Kind of gutted that you came
I don't
in
know.
your
Everyone
civvies.
kind of said, "Oh, we're not going to do costumes." So I was like, "All right, fine. Just come in my usual Tuesday attire."
Yeah, casual Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays we wear pink.
Yeah.
Anyway, really, we're not hanging with these four boring normies.
They're all losers.
Yeah.
Because what we'll be doing in this RPG is playing as wrestlers. So this will be a full, what they call an episode of wrestling. There'll be multiple matches, there'll be interviews with the stars, there'll be kind of backstage things happening, but it will be going through an entire episode of wrestling, start to finish. There'll be storylines, there'll be heartbreak, there'll be big moves, there'll be nonsense, because it's wrestling.
Yeah.
But it's all real. All very real.
I thought it was very serious.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly
It is incredibly serious. This year we have the same audience size as WrestleMania, same live audience as WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm sure this will be much more popular. So, yes, I suppose it's time to get into this episode of SPINEBREAKER. SPINEBREAKER. I'm so off-brand. SPINEBREAKER Pro Wrestling. We'll edit that. It's not live.
Send Dino. We'll edit that.
So, let's get on with it. I will. Our announcer, Danny Davids of SPINEBREAKER Pro Wrestling, introduces. They say, "Welcome to SPINEBREAKER Pro Wrestling, the most electrifying show on YouTube and tabletop gaming as a whole." This night we see the epic clash of Floyd and the Boomer. The Boomer? Just Boomer.
The Boomer!
The Boomer! We'll see the Duchess versus Edgar Allan Poe. This is going so well already. So, we're into it. But first of all, we need to know who our wrestlers are, what they look like, where they come from, and what they're aiming for. Do they want that belt? Are they just there to cause trouble? Are they a complete jabroni? So, starting with Wills, please introduce your character. Tell us who they are, where they're from, where they hail from in the lingo. And
hailing from Hollywood, California, a homeowner by the age of 25, it's the Boomer! With his signature move, the OKKO. He's here to remove all avocados from the diet. I'm playing a veteran. I'm an established name. I'm a hard worker. Which means that I've been around in this industry for quite a while. I'm a bit of a name around the audience, and I've got a few bit of rivalries with some of these upstart kids coming in and ruining the wrestling industry. And we'll find out more as the game goes on.
Yeah,
because that's about as deep as I've gotten with this.
Perfect. So just to give you a brief idea, so all of our players have gimmicks, which are essentially classes, like your D&D classes, except with more spandex. And so each of those gimmicks define what kind of wrestler they are, and then they are either a babyface or a heel, which if you're not familiar with wrestling, is basically good or bad. So babyface is good, heels bad. And those kind of define the moves that they have and what they're after, that kind of thing. They'll be rolling as we go along for certain moves, and both on the mic and off the mic in the ring. And then I'll be reacting as the creative, which is the Game Master role here. So I'm the creative power here. I'll be booking you in matches. I'll be telling you who's winning, because wrestling is definitely real, not at all fixed. But they can swerve the players and actually change what I've planned. So we'll be experiencing that as we go along. I'm sure this will stick 100% to plan.
Because I realised I've forgotten to say, just in case it wasn't immediately obvious from every video I've ever been in, I will be playing a heel. So there we go.
Johnny Chiodini, who will you be playing?
Hailing from parts unknown is Edgar Allan Poe, who is an absolute monster of a man. Indeed, I'm playing a monster. He's like 7 foot tall with like shoulders like a wardrobe, and he's
very well dressed.
Deathly pale. He is very well dressed. He kind of comes into the ring wearing like morning dress, and then sort of like disrobes into his wrestling gear. He has a pencil-thin moustache and incredible bags under his eyes, and he also goes by the Poet of Pain.
Oh,
and I'll leave it there until I cut my first promo, I think.
Oh, wow.
and to your left we have Alex Meehan. Who will you be playing?
I'll be paying the Duchess. Hailing from Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh yes, that classic Stoke accent.
The heart of the UK wrestling. Stoke-on-Trent.
Have a look.
Fine family of wrestlers. Yes.
Are you related to the Boomer by any chance?
High-born lady of wrestling class. She'll be wearing all her finery when she comes out onto the stage.
What's your finery? Is that like a dress? Or what kind of finery?
Oh, we'll find out.
You
finery
might
out.
finally find out. That didn't work.
It's an oil refinery. They've got stocks in Shell.
What gimmick will you be playing as?
I am playing as the provocateur.
Standard.
Checks out.
Yeah.
They are a strange one, the weirdo.
Oh yeah.
Checks out.
Excellent.
So
This
yeah,
makes sense.
this is yeah.
It's
And
a
you're
miracle
saying
it's
that
not a
while
goblin.
wearing a big pink wig.
Yes, Alex Lowleys. Who will you be playing as?
Hello, I am Floyd. I think.
Ba-dum.
Floyd.
I'm rolling.
The barber.
I hail from your hometown, wherever that may be.
What?
I am the anointed. I am the woman of the people. I am the anointed, so I'm the next big thing in the wrestling world. And there is someone backstage who is really putting a lot of pressure on me to win and to do very well and to rise in the ranks very quickly, and I'm not crumbling under this pressure at all. That's my gimmick. That's it for now.
Have you got like targeted advertising on Facebook where it's like, yeah, she comes from the town that you're from.
Yeah.
Town name.
Hailing from anonymous proxy, it's
Hashtag town name. So
Incredible wrestlers are in your area.
So that's our characters laid out. So before we started filming, you each set up heat with each other, which is essentially your relationships, kind of the feuds that are ongoing. Because you're not all debuting. You might have been around the circuit a few times. You've had these storylines going on. So you each have heat with each other, which is for a question, and you start with momentum, which is kind of a resource that you spend to roll and to do things and to swerve away from what I have planned. So we will now be keeping it kayfabe.
okay.
As we move into your promos for your characters. So this is in character. So this is an idea of what you're after, who you're after, and what it's going to come down to. And we have a microphone here.
Oh my god.
Who wants to go first? You can absolutely steal the microphone if you feel like your character demands to be heard.
Whilst that does make sense for my character, I will let you go first if you would like to. Is it every character or is it just the two
Every
that are about to
character.
fight? Oh, okay.
Then we'll be having an
Fantastic.
interview with the people in the first match.
All right, okay. Yeah, sure, why not? Am I being asked questions, or is this me to camera?
No, this is a promo.
It's a promo,
Okay.
Yeah.
good friend.
You're talking to the people who are going to be watching
Yeah.
you.
All right.
This is your message to the nation.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We let Wheels go first.
I'm starting to think I don't want to go first. People of America, listen here. These millennials, they've been ruining this town and this country for way too long. That's why it's time for the boomer to take his center stage and go for one last run at the top. I'm going for the belt. I'm going all the way. I'm going to take the President of the United States on in a cage match. I'm doing everything I can to get this country back to how it used to be. Back when people had polio. Back when people could go to the country that they wanted to without a passport and just turn up and buy lots of Cuban cigars and put them in my basement. Nobody look at my basement, please. It's the boomer.
Excellent. So you cut a promo. You took the mic and you spoke your mind. So roll a plus look for me, please. So there's four traits in the game. They
Yeah.
are look, body, something, look, body, audience.
Real and work.
Work and real. Yeah.
Real work, audience, and heat are the others that you roll. So they'll boost your rolls. It's Powered by the Apocalypse, if you're familiar with that, which you
It's
might
the same
be if
system
you
that we use for Root, which,
Yes.
which has already gone up on the
real
channel.
RPG. So you roll 2d6 and then you see what you get.
That is plus 0, so that's a 6.
So a 6, you botch. So when you fail, you basically fluff it up. And in this case, your promo just didn't connect. There's
Again,
not enough
momentum.
boomers watching wrestling.
Goddamn millennials keep watching the show.
Because
But
they
you
don't know how
still
streaming works.
you still
like
gain
the
one
boomers.
momentum.
Yeah.
Yes. So, who's taking the mic next?
Has anyone got a burning desire?
Oh, it's the Duchess.
Is
No,
it?
go for it.
We
got
to
the
Okay.
Duchess.
Yeah, after he.
That's my
fucks off.
director voice. I could do Werner Herzog.
I'd love that if you did Werner.
Werner Herzog directs wrestling.
Yeah. People of the nation, I am your new ruler in terms of wrestling. Of course, if you want me to become your ruler and everything else, I'm perfectly okay with that, of course. Down with all this vulgarity. I'm here to bring class to the world of wrestling. I'm here to be your new queen. Prepare to be stepped on. You'll love it.
Oh no.
Oh, that kind of ruler.
Oh boy!
All right, you cut a promo. Please roll plus look.
2, right?
2d6. It's always 2d6.
Okay. That is a 7.
A 7. On a 7 to 9, you have their attention. Pick one of these. Make creative and book you in a match. Add a stipulation to a relevant match. They come out to respond to your promo. Gain a +1 heat with the subject of your promo.
Okay.
So because you weren't really addressing anyone in particular,
Okay. What does stipulation mean?
so a stipulation can be, it's kind of like a gimmick of the match. So it's kind of like, it's a cage match now, or it's a hardcore match, or it's actually a fatal three-way instead of a one-on-one, that kind of thing. But you
Okay.
obviously need to give a reason, and you'll have to, deliver this in character as to why this is happening. Why does your character want this stipulation?
A new stipulation for the upcoming match. I wanted to have something of class. There will be an ornate china tea set placed in the middle of the arena, which I'll be able to occasionally use to sip from as a refreshment and maybe use for other means as well.
Oh.
That is my stipulation for the match. Do it, you cowards!
I'm surprised he didn't ask for a gilded cage match.
Very good, very good.
So the announcer, Danny Davids, is like,
Day-Lewis.
the Duchess, she's calling for a tea set. My God, it's an invitation to death. What does she have planned? And so it's just accepted now. It's part of the running build. This is what's being built. So imagine the flashy graphics coming on the screen. Wills, you can add this, right?
Yeah. Just teacups flying around.
Yeah.
And let's come up with a name for it.
Teacup Terror.
Teacup Terror, that's great.
I just imagine you're all spinning around on one of those fairground rides.
Trying to get each other.
That's where the promo was filmed. She's just like,
We're in a bag.
Coming to you live from a teacup.
So yes, so now there will be a China tea set in the middle of
Yeah.
the ring. And the match is
prop.
known as the Teacup Terror. So think of TLC, but just the tea.
two for tea?
Who is next? Who's cutting their promo next?
It's me, your girl next door, Floyd. I'm coming from your hometown to your hometown to win the title. Forget about these other freaks, that old dude, the boomer, and that weirdo, the Duchess, and that weird creep, that Alan Edgar Pow. Forget about all of them. I'm here to take the title, and you know you want me, your girl next door, to be the winner.
That was
Excellent
amazing.
stuff. Right, cut a promo.
Oh, that's 8.
8. So again,
Jeez.
you've got their attention. Pick one. So make creative, put you in a match, add a stipulation to a relevant match, come out to respond to your promo. So one of these could come out and kind of argue with you now, or gain +1 heat with the subject of your promo, which in your case was pretty much everyone.
So does that mean I get +1 for everyone if I pick that one?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I'm
Yeah.
picking that one.
Damn.
All right.
Wow.
You gain +1 heat for everyone else.
Nice.
All right, so that is our promos. That's where we're up to. Oh
Haven't
no,
done my
sorry.
promo.
Oh, sorry.
Here we
Anyway.
go.
But
You've
then bursting through the wall.
7 weeks later, when you finish writing your poetry.
That's why I'm going last, definitely. A fog coalesces into a human being. Ladies, gentlemen, and all my non-binary friends, I am Edgar Allan Poe, the poet of pain, and I'm not gonna stop until I've taken every single one of these weaklings and put 'em under my floorboards. The Duchess, she made me look weak once, but I'm coming for her. I'm gonna chew her up. And then Floyd, you're next. I'm gonna put you in a hemlock. And then with my tools, my quill, and my inks, I'm gonna write you a poem you never gonna forget. And in the end, when you hit the canvas with my foot on your throat, and you hear the 1, 2, 3, you're gonna get up. Nevermore.
Incredible.
That is our equipment.
I'll do it again. Oh, I knocked over the momentum tokens. That I do worry
Oh, did I
about.
get a momentum for the promo, by the way?
So I think you do. I think actually everyone gains a momentum. It says it down the bottom.
No, on a bot.
Is it only on a bot?
Yeah.
It's kind
Basically,
of, it's hard to.
to be fair, I did read a little bit because this is a new thing for the second version.
Right.
Which is you gain momentum for failing stuff.
Yes.
Because you
That's
learn
it.
from your mistakes.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
Which is always
it's
a nice
learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what wrestling is.
Ooh,
Whoa!
that's a 10.
A 10.
Damn,
You connect
son.
with the audience. Pick 2 of those.
Oh my god.
I'm going to take an extra heat with Floyd.
Makes sense.
And so I could do a stipulation for my match with the Duchess.
Yes.
That's what we've already got a tea set.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
what
I
is he
don't.
saying
That
there?
would be like putting a hat on a hat. So what's the other one?
Make creative book you in a match. Or they come out to respond to your promo.
Oh.
Can I make Floyd come out and respond to my promo?
Yeah,
because I know
absolutely.
Floyd's really scared of me.
So how are you breaking into this promo? So imagine that Edgar Allan Poe is kind of on, like they're either in the locker room or against like a black background, shooting straight to camera.
Yeah.
You need to burst into it somehow.
Oh, so you hold on to this and then I'll storm in.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Okay, you said something about writing a poem or something.
yeah, poem. You're
Get up,
never
never.
gonna forget.
Okay. I mean, I already forgot it. Oh wait, that's the
You
thing.
didn't even know my name earlier, so yeah.
Rudeness.
I walk in and I flick my hair into his face and like kind of like shove my way into the camera, and I'm like, I don't understand half the stuff you just said 'cause you're weird, but you just go back home into your attic and write some more poetry, you loser.
Can I like go boom because you're afraid of me?
And then I run away.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase you out the room like.
And the camera films all of it, like following,
Yeah,
like
shaky cam.
Get away from me!
It's sort of here as we go down the corridor, just like hickory dickory dock. I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
Incredible. Right, so we have our promos. The feud are set. So we're on to our first match, which is a matchup between Floyd and the Boomer.
the old millennial versus the old boomer.
But before we get to the match itself, we have an interview. So it's over to our interviewer, Tanya Hessel, which is me. Hi, I'm Tanya Hessel.
It's Tanya Hessel, everyone.
Oh my god, it's Tanya Hessel.
So,
Tanya Hessel?
Yeah, I know Tanya.
the Boomer, tell me why you're. What's Floyd done to upset you? Why are you? What's the beef here?
Here's the thing, Tanya. Everything upsets me. I'm permanently annoyed.
Floyd, how do you respond to this? My God, what words?
Well, oh, can I hear him? What he's saying?
You're together, yeah. This is an interview.
Yeah,
I'm interviewing you both.
at the same time. Okay. Look at that ugly face. I'm gonna come right over there and punch it in a second.
You haven't got the work ethic to come over here and punch it.
I had my debut match with this man, this old man, and look at him. He's still fighting at this level. I'm gonna overtake you, and I'm gonna step on you if I have to do that.
I'm a real American hero. You don't even use real milk in your coffee.
Yeah, that's really bad for the environment. You should drink more oat milk, old man.
Global warming is a conspiracy made up by millennials in the first place.
Oh God.
Ah!
It's thanks to you that the world is ending.
So what?
All right, so then
Wow.
it cuts away. You've set up that match, and then suddenly, bang! There are maybe fireworks. What does your entrance look like, Boomer?
There's
you're
an
first.
enormous American flag behind me.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
I come out
Yeah.
attempting to look like Bruce Springsteen, looking more like a man spilling out of denim. I'm not going to play it because I can't be bothered. The Star Spangled Banner is behind me.
Okay, this is like big Jack Swagger.
Yeah, there are red, blue, and white pyrotechnics, and I take off my double denim to reveal my wrestling outfit, which like my gut is hanging over, and I sort of tweak my handlebar mustache a little bit and just start thumping down the platter and slide on into the ring where I'm just sort of yelling at everyone around me who looks under 25.
So because you're a heel, they'll just be booing, like moo, like
Mooing.
Whoa! They couldn't get any audience, so they had to bring a load of cows in.
they're all chanting "Boom, go bust! Boom, go bust!" So you're you're working the audience in a way because you're just really riling them up. So I'd like you to roll plus audience.
Okie dokie. Which starts 0?
Yes, I believe you're on 0 audience. I might be wrong.
No, you start on 1.
Oh, you start on 1 audience. Sorry,
Start
yes.
on 1,
Because
okay.
when you hit 0 audience, you get fired.
Oh God. Okay. Right. Which is this bit, yeah? Sweet. Okay. So I get +1 to this. Also, I'm a ring general, so I gain 1 momentum when I start a match.
All right.
So I'm currently on 3 momentum.
What?
I don't know what that means, but that's a lot of momentum.
You're going to come out hitting hard, I think.
Ooh. So I'm doing what? Sorry, I'm working the audience.
You're working the audience.
Okay. That is a 7.
Okay, so they play along. You gain 1 momentum.
Oh my god. Got momentum coming out my ears. I've picked up a mic and I'm like, I'm gonna break you all like I broke the economy.
Yeah. And so I should explain here that while you two will be wrestling in the ring, we will have 3 commentators. So in Worldwide Wrestling, normally it's just one player, but you can have 2 or more. They become commentators of the match. So you're not your characters, you are commentators separate. And one person that is not the creative gets at one point during that match, they can put a wrestler over, which means when they roll, you can upgrade the level of their roll. So from a botch to a pass, and then to a complete success.
Cool.
To a partial success, then complete. So we have, on the commentating table, we have Tombstone Susie, we have AP Mccrae, and we have Eddie Brooks. Who would like to be those? Who do you want to be of the commentators?
I want to be Susie.
Okay, you are Tombstone Susie. You're the first person to be Tombstone Susie. I just came up with a name, so tell us who Tombstone is.
Well, hello there. My name's Tombstone Susie. I love wrestling.
I got loads of money.
Great. Who do we have on your right?
Sorry, what were the other 2 names?
AP Mccrae and Eddie Brooks.
I'm going to be Eddie Brooks.
All right. Tell us who they are.
I'm Eddie Brooks. I'm super peppy. I used to wrestle. I was on my way up, and then I busted my cruciate ligament, and I am not bitter about it in the slightest.
Well, isn't that just lovely?
I hate seeing poor technique, and I will call it out whenever I see it, because I'm not bitter.
Oh, thanks for joining us. I'm AP Mccrae. I'm very happy to be joined by Tombstone Susie and Eddie Brooks. And we're seeing this fantastic matchup between Floyd and the Boomer. We've already got the Boomer in the ring. He's looking mighty pumped up. He's probably getting a hernia.
I already got one.
And now, Floyd enters.
Okay, I come from the ceiling.
Oh.
I am in an aerial hoop, of course, and I'm holding. Is it called sprinklers? The things that like
Sparklers.
Sparklers. I'm holding, and the hoop is like twirling, and I'm like holding the sparklers out, and it's like twirling down to the ring. And then when I come down, I get off at the bottom, and I do a little like dance around the ring with my sparklers, and then once the sparklers run out, I throw them on the floor and step on them, and whilst looking at the Boomer.
Cool.
And like doing this.
Oh, whoa!
Do you play to the audience at all?
That was all for the audience!
As in, do you speak to the audience? Do you take the mic off the floor where the Boomer's dropped it? Or do you just let it speak for itself?
I let it speak for itself.
Okay. I would say that descending from a rope and whatnot is probably demonstrating extraordinary strength or athletic ability, just by virtue of it being up high and so on. So if you could roll plus body, please.
Plus body.
Yeah.
Body, yaddy, yaddy.
Oi, oi,
That's
oi.
only a 5.
So that's a botch. You take an injury and 1 momentum.
You step on the sparkler, it
Yeah.
burns your foot.
Exactly, yeah. AP McCrae's like, oh, I can't believe it. She's sitting on the sparkler. That's gonna hurt her in this upcoming match. I knew they were a fire risk. Someone should have told her not to do that. Where are the safety people? For crying out loud.
Frankly, I'm just amazed her hair didn't catch fire, because between you and me, Susie, I don't think that's real.
I love my hair extensions.
Quick question. What happens if I take injury? I missed that
I
bit.
think there's a box on your sheet to
Yeah,
mark
on the
injuries.
other side. There should be
Yeah,
at
there
bottom.
should be, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just marked that with an X or something.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So bear in mind going forward now, because wrestlers often play off of injuries, whether they are kayfabe or real, and in this case, let's say it's kayfabe. So you might want to exploit that, Boomer, in your match.
Of
So
course.
something you want to play off?
Yeah, that's what you do, you exploit.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right, so we're all set for the greatest matchup between these two wrestlers, these two superstars. Absolute I don't know if you're veterans of the scene, really.
I am literally a veteran,
Floyd
yeah.
is, right. So it's old versus young, experience versus kind of young pep. I don't know. I've run out of words. But two true highlights of the Spinebreaker Pro Wrestling scene and the SPW universe is going absolutely wild for this matchup. They love it. So we now move in. The bell rings, and you're into your wrestling match. So how do you open? So the way wrestling works in Worldwide Wrestling is you tend to just describe what you're doing, the small stuff, small exchanging of blows, and then when it's time to build to a big move, you have your wrestling moves, and those are normally where you roll. So they will tell you what to do, you'll add your stats, and they will normally give you momentum, lose momentum, do other things, build up your audience, that kind of thing. If you botch it, the audience will turn against you. So you will typically, one of you will go and describe and generally build up to something. You can hand over to the other person. You're working together in this, and we will commentate.
Okay, I was gonna alright, well, actually, what were you gonna do? Because I've got something in my head that I'd like to do, but it's more of a reaction to what.
I'm sort of like very old-fashioned style. I'm sort of like circling you, just sort of like waving my fingers, like waiting for the next attack.
Like a cautious bear, Susie.
Hello, bear.
It's hard to tell what he has in mind, really.
Very little.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of circling around with you, and then I kind of get bored, and I kind of just go like this and turn around to the crowd. When I'm looking at the crowd, I'm kind of just being ha ha ha, just showing off a little bit. And then I'm kind of keeping an eye on him because I'm kind of waiting for him to potentially lunge at me. And
I'm absolutely seeing you turn around. I'm going to try and grab you in the midriff and suplex you.
What I was going to do in reaction to that is just try and duck out of your way so you fall.
Mm-hmm.
I think before then, because you're working the audience, you should roll to work the audience. So you roll plus audience. And AP's like, such utter disrespect. Doesn't she know the Boomer is the greatest generation?
You know what? It's absolutely right. He's been wrestling since before the term Boomer was even coined. Of course, back then he just wrestled under the name The.
So I got a 7.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they're playing along, so they're absolutely just cheering for you. You gain a momentum.
Yeah. But no, I already did that.
Oh.
But does it not give me an option of 1 or 2 things to do here?
No, you're working the audience.
Oh, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. My bad. Okay, cool.
All right.
And then all that stuff happened that we said?
Yeah, so when you were so carry on from there.
So I noticing that Floyd has turned around, I see a perfect opportunity to just grab by the midriff and just slam backwards.
And I'd like to, having been watching him, to get out of the way and hopefully make him fall on his face, but I don't know how this works.
No, so you generally, when you perform moves, and then you would roll to do big spots. So you want to quickly change, exchange blows and so on. If you want to take control, you can spend a momentum and narrate how you counter something. So that's what you would want to do in this situation.
Yeah, that's...
So you spend a momentum, and then it's literally you narrate, so then it's over to you. You take control of the description here.
Oh, okay.
And narrate the next sequence coming up.
So that's what I did then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going for a Boomer Bash.
And then
But Floyd tries to counter.
I kind of just do a little spin around like a ballerina out of his way.
So I go face first into a rope and just sort of
and then I go over and grab him by the back of the head and bring him over to the corner and smash his face into the corner of the ring.
Yeah. So you smash him into the turnbuckle, and then because that's not necessarily a major move yet, the control stays with you.
Okay.
So you can generally build into a big move, which is one of these moves on the thing, or Boomer can try to take control by spending momentum or performing one of his own moves.
I am going to take control.
Okay.
I'm going to smack around the face with a dirty elbow.
After I've been
into
smacked with the
the
turnbuckle,
turnbuckle, I'm assuming you're behind me.
Well, no, I was gonna jump on the ropes at that point, but
Oh, okay, I was going to do that as well. So because I've spent momentum, I'm going to take control, smack you in the face with the elbow to try and off-balance you a bit, and then take an overly long time to try and climb up the ropes.
What's he building to here? My God!
he's
400 feet in the air!
It looks like he's building toward a third house.
Well, since I guess you just keep narrating.
It's
Yeah.
still in your control until you do a big move or the control goes back.
Okay, so I've only gone up like 2 of the ropes. I'm not fully on the top, and I'm just going to come in with the other elbow.
Oh,
Just going from 1 to 2. I'm working towards a big finish here.
like-
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it traditional, you know.
Okay, so what you can do, so as well as interrupting, which is where you spend momentum to take control,
Yeah.
you can voluntarily hand off control if you want to. So that gives you a momentum. So that's the kind of like they're dazed in the ring and they're not a threat, and you can then pose to the crowd or whatever you want to do. So for the moment, control stays with you until you either take control or hand over control, or do a big move and then we roll for it.
I'm going to call this one. So I'm sort of 2 ropes up. I'm gonna go in for a big flying elbow, which
a massive elbow coming here.
I like to call it the housing market as it starts to plummet.
Oh my God, it's crashing!
I'm just going to land straight down and try and go for a big blow.
Okay, so I think this would be so it's physical strength, I think, more so than like wrestling technique, because you're basically just bringing all your mass down. So it's wrestling, roll, and body.
Okay.
So if you could, roll plus body.
Ooh, that's a 6.
A 6, you botch it. So your opponent describes how they counter you and take control of the match. And because on a botch, whenever you botch, which I don't think I was necessarily doing before, but I have a list of hard moves as the creative, which always happen on a botch.
Ooh.
So in this case, I'm going to say that the audience is going to turn on you. So you, actually, that's maybe harsh. Okay, we'll go with legit badness. So I'm going to say that you take. It says someone's in trouble, so I'm going to say you come down and
Tweak my shoulder.
Yeah, you basically just catch it just wrong. You land to the side.
Does it not up to me what I'm gonna do in response to him? No.
Yes, you're right. You should describe how you counter it. You then
Okay.
take control.
Yeah.
but then
So what I
can
was gonna
that.
do is essentially when he comes towards me with his elbow, I was gonna kind of catch him under the arms and then flip him back, so he lands on his back.
All right. So let's say that you basically you get caught, smashed, it sounds like a suplex basically behind you, and because of this hard move, you have legit badness. So it puts you in trouble. You're basically dazed, laid out. So then control goes over to you.
Yeah, I kind of, as I was about to land this move, I was under the impression that how could one of my moves ever fail? So I'm really dazed as to be smacked on the turf like that.
He's in trouble, my God. What's Floyd got in store now?
So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just in one move jump up to the 3rd rope and turn around and just fly on him. I don't know what that's called.
Like a frog
high
splash,
flyer.
I guess.
Yeah,
So,
so you can frog splash or you
Body
could just,
slam.
Yeah.
That one.
So I would say because you're kind of, I guess it's athleticism again. So if you roll plus body,
That's 7.
7, you keep their attention. Choose whether to hand control of the match to your opponent and take +1 momentum, or retain control of the match.
my God, it looks like the boomer has been pink floored.
I'd like to keep control.
Okay.
And then essentially grab one of his legs and try and end the match there.
You want to try and pin him now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going for it early. So the way this happens is I have already decided who wins, which I normally tell you when the pace is getting low and things like that. In this case, it's not close enough to the end of the match. So I'm going to say that somehow you get out of this. So I'll leave that to you.
I'm quite good at sort of wrestling technique and grappling. So I'm going to sort of use that. Did you say you're grabbing one of my legs with your arm to
I'm
sort of pin you up?
folding your leg over, yeah. And
Yeah, so I'm almost going to sort of pirouette, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style to try and get her in an arm lock. So I'm rolling with work, if that's grappling.
Yeah, technique, grappling, precision.
Ooh, that's a straight up 10. I learned one of these on my vacation!
The crowd pops as you nail the spot. Retain control of the match and take a momentum.
So I've got like a sort of a grip on the floor where I'm just sort of like putting some hurt on your shoulder, and I'm really sort of like working the audience like, yeah, this is your hero that I'm breaking her arm.
That was a nice reversal from the boomer, and he is just absolutely livid with everyone in the building.
Oh my! I hope Fly manages to get out of this one.
So what? Sorry, what? I got a bit lost there. What position am I in now? You've got my.
I've got your arm up like this, basically. It's like.
Am I like kneeling on the?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so I've sort of like I've used my weight to sort of fold you over, and I'm just sort of like pinning you down with your arm up whilst I'm sort of like shouting at the audience.
You're still in control for the moment as well because you rolled a 10.
Okay. I want to work the audience. I want to start spitting and jeering at them as I'm sort of like putting their hero down.
Oh, okay, right. So you're straight up healing it, basically.
Yeah,
you're just
straight
like,
up.
look, I'm embarrassing your hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so work the audience. Roll plus audience.
That is a 9.
Oh, okay. So 7 to 9, they play along. You gain a momentum.
Okay.
Oh my god, how much momentum can one man have?
A whole generation's worth, Floyd.
And then after I've sort of, given it enough, I actually want to get a little bit violent. I think, because I've been sick of playing by the rules all this time, and suddenly I'm gonna start going a little bit too hard.
Right. Okay.
So when I draw first blood, use a weapon or revel in violence in the ring, I roll plus real.
Okay, yeah. So there's no weapons in the thing, but you can try.
I'm going to revel in
draw.
violence to try and actually tweak her shoulder a little bit and probably go a little bit harder than I should have done.
Not sure about this guy, and I'm a heel.
That's a 9.
Okay, so the crowd pops, gain a momentum, and pick 1, but your opponent takes control.
Okay.
So someone gets injured, but it isn't discovered until later. You gain a heat with your opponent, or they gain plus 1 heat. With
I would like to gain a heat with my opponent.
Okay.
What? By the way, I was just thinking about this. When does this heat come in?
Certain things you roll plus heat,
Okay.
and if you build enough heat with certain people, it can advance your storyline over multiple episodes. So it's like a bigger thing. Okay. Same with the audience. If you get to, I think in the second edition, if you get to plus 5 audience, you then get over. So then that you basically advance and more people love you, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm handing control over.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you've kind of got me pinned down with my arm. And you're really like working the crowd at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like maybe at one point you just kind of like so distracted by giving out to the crowd that I like catch a moment and like, I don't know, roll out of it somehow. I don't know. And then I'm going to just run straight for the rope, bounce myself off, and like clothesline.
Yeah.
Clothesline.
So we'll say that. I'm
Acrobatic.
going to say that's probably plus body, because I think that's just pure strength, really. It's not really technique.
Oh, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Okay, so the crowd pops as you nail the spot. Retain momentum of the match, gain plus 1 momentum.
I don't know about you, Susie, but I don't think she learned that in my hometown.
What a lovely clothesline! I love clothes!
My God, he was almost decapitated. I can't believe he's still standing.
I'm gonna like just like pretend to like, well, I'm not pretend, but I'm gonna just kick him like
Stomp.
just like stomp him a few times. What do I need? Oh yeah, then I'm gonna pick him up by the kind of by the head, by the neck or whatever. Kind of pick him up and put him in a headlock.
Okay, so
And no, that's it.
okay,
Shoot him.
so you're grappling. So you need to roll plus work.
Ooh, okay. Oh no. That's
How
not
much
good.
momentum do each of you have, by the way?
I have 6.
Oh, that's only a 4.
Okay, so you botch it. So your opponent needs to describe how they counter you and take control of the match.
So you trying to
Do
put
I
me in?
gain a momentum for that because I botched it?
No, not in this case.
Are you trying to headlock me?
Yes.
I'm going to grab your arm and flip you over so that I can put you straight down on the mat I know all the wrestling terms. So, yeah, I'm going to lean into my grappling and just sort of like try and do like some kind of like shoulder throw to slam onto the thing. Roll plus work, is that?
Yeah, I would say that's probably more grappling technique, yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, that is...
What is with your rules?
That's an 11 plus 2 is 13.
Jeez, okay, so it's over 10, so
Yeah.
basically you nail the spot, you keep momentum and take +1. Keep control and take 1 momentum. There might be a limit on momentum, but I
don't know what to do with it
don't
most
know.
of the time.
You can spend it to take control,
Okay.
basically, so you can go back and forth.
Right, okay, let's do something funny.
do
What's our heal action as well? I forgot about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, I spend momentum on this. Okay, so when you take underhanded action, take advantage of someone unfairly, or act with villainous intent, spend 2 momentum and pick 1. So yeah, I'm going to say that I've actually put quite a lot of force into this shoulder throw, which is probably against the sort of unwritten rules of not actually trying to hurt someone too much. I'm going to spend 2 momentum, and I get to pick one of these. I am going to cheat in order to book yourself to win a match.
Okay, I'm guessing this match.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, so in that case, you are now winning this match for the time being.
All right.
So were you?
Oh my god!
So you were doing more damage, but presumably like as part of the performance, as in like the audience knows that you're really going for it. It's kind of like you're not actually trying to hurt them in real life. You are trying to, show the audience that you're bad. It's a heel move.
Yeah, I'm literally just like someone's like, oh, you can't do that in the audience, sort of thing.
Well, he says millennials killing every industry, but it looks like the boomers looking to kill this match.
Oh god.
He's lucky he hasn't thrown his shoulder, but at least he'll have universal health care to sort him out.
For now.
Okay.
It's too real. It's all too real.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so if you want to work towards a finish now,
yeah, I would like to start building up the OKKO, which is basically like a butt slam.
right?
So I've got your arm sort of like held as I threw you over, and I'm like jeering at the audience again, like getting to boo me hard, and I'm gonna sort of posture myself up to try and slam down hard to try and go for the knockout.
All right. So I would say again that's just pure strength. Well, because it's a finish, I think let's roll plus heat here.
Okay.
So
which is plus
because
2.
it leads up to a big spot that requires you to work with your opponent to achieve and make exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're really working together here to really like finish this match on a high.
I'm sort of like winking at you, like make this look like it really hurt.
That's how wrestling works.
Plus 2, that's a 8.
Okay, so you keep their attention. You don't hand control over this time, but obviously you are finishing here. So are you going for a pin rather than like a submission or?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to sort of like keep them down, so like do enough sort of physical force that I can get them like sort of laying helpless on the ground so I can go for the pin. But before that, I'm definitely going to do a little circuit around the ring and shout at people more. At which point I'm going to hand over control.
Okay, so I mean you're finishing the match here.
Oh, okay.
Presumably.
Yeah.
If that's your big finish, if that's the OKKO, you're finishing on a finisher.
Well, it wasn't a 10 plus, so I'm guessing it didn't KO. Is what I meant.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like if this where you want to end it, if you're using your finisher, like either that or you can come out of this and go for a little bit more. But I would say now you just bring it to a close.
Do you want to do a little bit more before we kill things off?
Up to you. I don't have much going on to it. Like there's not much I can.
Feels
I
like a natural
would
end to me.
finish it. So you're like.
This has surely got to be the end of this match.
My God, it's the OKKO! How does anyone survive it? I sound like I'm commentating F1.
I've got a manicure to go to after this one.
Yeah, so I slam hard, I do some jeers, and then I come in for like the classic pin.
Right.
Like just the oldest pin in the book.
And it's just like.
Yeah.
That's it. The boomer takes it. Floyd just laid out. So are you just flat out? Are you able to kind of hobble away? Like obviously you play to the crowd and so on. But what's your state at the end of this?
Oh, like I definitely am able to hobble away. And I'm just like, just get my brush and just like sadly brush my hair.
Oh no! A hometown defeat, that's gotta sting, and I have to wonder, was it maybe the injury she sustained at the start of this matchup putting out those sparklers? Maybe not.
I can't hear this.
No.
Okay.
I think it definitely played a part. I think the boomer, not necessarily Floyd's physical equal, but definitely just mind games. I think mind games was what won this particular match for the boomer. It was boom or bust in this case, and it ended up being bust for Floyd.
Whilst like my music is playing as I've won the match, I like slide out of the ring and pull out a bag of golf clubs, put it over my shoulder, and start storming off.
He's off to his retreat, his 17th house.
I would say that this match had many components to it. Maybe an element of technique, an element of mind games. I've certainly been looking into some of that work that Boomer's been doing. Maybe Floyd will come back. Please read my book on it. Dude, I love wrestling.
Okay, so Boomer, you won. So you now go backstage. You've both hobbled out of the ring. What happens? What's the kind of fallout from this match?
So I'm just like stood in the hallway talking to the Duchess, telling her what happened, and then he's like walking past, I guess, from the ring, and I'm like, I like step in his way and like kind of push him to the wall, and I'm like, hey, you really hurt me out there.
You kids, you want everything handed to you from the get-go. You never want to work.
I worked my butt off, but you really hurt me. Like you twisted my arm or something. Like that really hurt. You're not supposed to
Get
really
used
hurt
to
me.
it, girly.
Girly? Girly?
What a ruffian!
So is that you interrupting, Duchess?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you interrupt, I would just find the rules for this. I believe it's a move.
When you
So-
want to take control of the... Oh, no, that's
Yeah,
not-
interrupt when you want to take control of the match.
Well, let's do this. It's a run-in, kind of. So when you interrupt a match in progress.
Yeah.
So roll plus heat for me, please.
Okay.
Duchess.
Is that heat against me?
It's heat in general at the moment. Roll plus heat.
I suppose you would
It
have
might
to
be
pick a
one of
target.
yeah.
We all have one as a
You
standard.
did say what a ruffian.
Oh, that's not good. That is 4.
4. On a botch, you get stopped. You gain a momentum.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that. So turn a wrestler on them. My hard move. So I'm gonna say that you turn on the
boomer.
Duchess. So you lose -1 heat with the boomer.
Okay.
Boomer, you now basically shut the Duchess down.
I flip around. That you're trying to burst in and call me a ruffian. I'm
I'm
like,
pointing at you.
You listen here, Duchess. If there is one privileged person in this room, it's me.
you faint.
Yeah, she faints.
Okay, so that's where we're leaving it. So then we cut to a commercial break.
Oh God.
So this isn't actually in the rules, but I thought it'd be funny. So what I want is for everyone to basically describe a roughly 30-second advert. So these happen all the time in wrestling. It'll just cut away and be like, brought to you by Snickers, the bar for people that eat. And things like that. Exactly, yeah. Or just eat in general. They're always sponsored by a load of things. So, starting from this side with Wheels, just improvise an advert. And maybe I'll give you something if it's good enough. I haven't decided yet.
Coming out in the year of 2020, it's Spinebreaker XL, the new video game adaptation of your favorite YouTube wrestling matches. Come on in for the crunch time and come on out for the terrible bugs.
Perfect. Yeah.
Excellent.
That was good. That was good. Hey, do you like meat? Do you like beef? Do you like pork? Do you like chicken? Do you like shrimp? Well, come on down to Spiddlington's Bar and Grill, where we've got combo platters available all weekend long. Labor Day weekend, you get the shrimp, you get the chicken in the pork, and the beef in the Spiddlington's Bar and Grill. It's real nice. You can bring your coupons. I don't know where I went with
Just
that.
for a bit of context, every time we go to an American event, Johnny has to watch me sit in an American bar and just be baffled by American adverts. I think you channeled that so hard.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, Ian.
Hang on, I've got to compose myself.
Sorry.
Right. Oh, darling, I've made you a lovely hamburger. Do you enjoy it? What is this filth? It's dry and horrible. How could you give this to me, you hag? Hamburger helper, put your hamburger helper on the burger. Your husband will love you again. Hamburger helper.
Oh my god.
Take my jumper off.
Trying to compose.
No pressure. Ladies.
Do you feel gassy and sometimes you feel like more might come out? Get yourself some Imodium Extra. I don't know if that's what that's for, but that's what I've decided to go with. Side effects may cause death and sudden loss of limbs, and you might stop breathing all of a sudden. You might lose many friends and or family. We're not guaranteed that it'll work.
Amazing
Ask
work.
your doctor today.
Incredible.
Amazing work. Everyone take a momentum.
Yeah!
Well, I think we can all agree that was quite a matchup, but who will prevail when the Duchess takes on Edgar Allan Poe? Find out soon on Spinebreaker.